we will move into some membership obligations. So a lot of this kind of comes from a lot of those priorities that I just talked about. So first, membership obligation being our GPA requirement. So once you're actually a member of a sorority at our campus, most chapters require initiated members to hold a cumulative GPA of a 2.5. And we really, again, focus on our academics here. And if we know that a woman is dropping in her GPA a little bit, a lot of chapters have some really great programs to help those women bring their GPA up. So whether that's a study group or an encouragement for study hours or meeting with professors, every chapter has a different plan that really helps boost our members' GPAs. So second obligation, member dues. So each chapter does dues pretty differently, and we'll break down some of that pricing later in this presentation, but each chapter will have an initiation and badge fee, which is just your one-time fee of being a new member. So buying a pin or a badge that you wear as a chapter member, as well as chapter dues, which you can do like a payment plan or pay by semester or really whatever works for you in that way. And then there's also Panhellenic dues, which you pay to your chapter, which then pays out to Panhellenic to pay for any community things. And that is a one-time fee each semester as well. Moving on to our third membership obligation, campus involvement. I kind of talked a little bit about a lot of our members being involved, but most chapters do require our chapter members to be involved in at least one other organization on our campus. But then there's also a lot of fun stuff that you can be involved in too. Our fourth obligation, community service, which I just talked about, huge priority in our community. A lot of chapters require a certain amount of community service hours per semester, but obviously from my last statistic on the last slide, our members typically go over the expected amount. Number 5, the Greek-related events. So this is some more of that fun stuff I was talking about that really just brings our community together. So things like homecoming and Greek week and Pride weeks and things like that, which really focus on bringing all of our chapters together as one community. And then our 6th membership obligation of the time commitment. So a general time commitment for your chapter as a new member would be chapter meetings once a week during the semester, 2 to 3 philanthropy events. It kind of depends on how heavy your chapter may be that semester, that year for philanthropies, and then also your new member meetings, which you just get to learn about all of the fun stuff and the history of your sorority chapter. Next slide here. Moving into some housing options. So this kind of goes in the order of what like your normal would be for K-State, but really highlighting what different facilities can bring you to your college experience. So just talking a little bit about residence halls, which I'm sure a lot of you already know quite a bit about, but you're expecting to pay between $9,000 and $12,000 for your meal plan and your housing expenses. And at K-State, most freshmen choose to live in our residence halls their first year on campus. Chapter facilities, so like your sorority houses, students kind of live there just like a residence hall. So while classes are in session, typically sorority chapters don't offer housing over like long extended breaks or summertime. And those housing costs vary, which we'll get into that a little bit, but yeah, the next slide with finances. But that's they typically range and cost a little bit less than your average residence hall or your off-campus living. So these are just some of your averages for your first year. And that first year is obviously a little bit more expensive because of those kind of first year financial obligations that I talked about. But I really like to highlight like the range just because a lot of our chapters have different financial responsibilities. And that's just own chapter decision or nationals decision. But yeah, you could be anywhere between $5,700 and $8,500 for your average or for your cost living in the house, which provides you obviously your housing and then meal plan as well. And then out of house members pay between $1,500 and $2,700 about. And a good reminder here too is that that billing is going to be done through each sorority chapter. K-State doesn't touch any of that themselves. So you would have like your own financial portal that your chapter works through that you would pay your financial responsibilities on. And just like I said a second ago, a lot of chapters offer payment plans too. So if you're working through and paying your own chapter dues or You just can't cough up $1,500 at the beginning of the semester. A lot of chapters are really flexible with the way you pay your finances.